4th of April 2024. This is one of that rip the band-aid off Skidmarks. And it is about the upcoming election and the parties involved. Now before I start, I want you to listen very carefully to what this lady from OHM is saying. Pay special attention to what she says about voting.
We take very seriously the principles and the pillars of our democracy. Even as much as everyone criticizes the democracy we have as defective, as some might say it is the only thing that we have, and we need to leverage it to determine the outcomes of our future. A lot of people, as in every election, will choose to stay behind and not go out and vote. They will feel that they are taking the moral high road. And I want to say to all of those voters who think they are morally superior or more intelligent by staying at home and not voting, that what you're actually doing is bending the knee to those in power. There are a plethora of choices. Just look at the flags on the side of this hall. Make your choice, even if you don't like OHM, even if you don't like any of the other parties, you can make a strategic vote. So what I am looking forward to is a massive voter turnout today, and I'll ask and implore all South Africans to feel that spirit of democracy on the 29th of May in 2024 and do their part, because it will make a difference.
Now, if you listen carefully, she made a clear statement on the value of your vote. And I have been driving a campaign to convince people to vote. And as she said it so well, this is the political system that we have, and we need to leverage it. And you cannot leverage it by staying at home and stay away and not voting and spoiling your voting ballot. That's not how you can do it. And there's a very big portion of my tribe, the Boere, that has refrained from voting for 30 years. And what do they have to show for it? Fuck all. They can show nothing. So, by not voting, you are playing into the hands of the opposition, your opposition. You're playing into the hands of the cretins that are in charge. I did a Skidmark where I explained mathematically how you are benefiting the ANC, the DA and the EFF by not voting. I did it. You can go and look it up, it's here. But let's start today's talk. And I'm going to use a lot of analogies. South Africa is a bus, a big bus. And in '94, that bus was well kept, well maintained, well serviced. And what happened afterwards? Okay. We have the ANC in the driver's seat. And you can go and look all around you. Look at how our economy has been destroyed, how our industries has been destroyed, how our infrastructure has been destroyed, to see how well they drove the bus. Actually, how they fucked up behind that steering wheel, and instead of taking the highway, they took the bus off-road. Here at the door, those seats there at the door, sits the DA. What are they doing? They are guarding that door and make sure nothing obstructs that door. Why are they so fucking focused on that door? For a quick escape. A quick escape of the bus. They are 100% in control of XXX. They are 100% committed to the missions of XXX. Just look at what they did to the people during the pestilence. Look, that alone explains to you that they feel fuck all for you, the people. They just execute the commands from XXX. the globalists and the Zionists. That is what they are doing. And they are guarding that door with their lives because they need to make sure and be sure that that door is functioning when they want to jump out. Don't forget that. Then we have the EFF. They're sitting there, just behind the DA. And what do they do on that fucking bus? They do what they do. They do what the EFF does. They fucking rip the seat covers to pieces. They tear the foam out. They break the windows. They bliksem everything through the windows as this bus is traveling. Just destroying. Destructive. Because that is their nature. Destruction. Why do they do it? Because their leader gets his instructions from London. And London don't want that bus to be comfortable, to have nice seats. They want that bus to be a fucking nightmare. That's what they want. And EFF does it. And they throw everything out. Fuck the seats up, everything. Rip the carpets out. Throw it through, everything is thrown through the windows. And today, they are sitting on the bare metal frames of once luxury seats. And here behind them, in the back seat, that little back seat, you know, everybody that's been driving a bus knows that back seat, like a long seat, big window behind it, and side windows. So it's a cozy corner. And who's in that cozy corner? The Freedom Front Plus. They're sitting there. They actually don't give a shit where that bus is going, just as long as their little corner and their seat is protected against the marauding EFF. That's all. They protect that seat. Make sure that windows is not broken, because if those windows should break, their Vaseline-coated bodies will gather dust from the road. Because that ANC drivers in the front has mistaken this fucking bus over the dirt roads instead of sticking to the highway. But the EFF is very happy and cozy there at the back. They even have little curtains on their windows and things. They don't give a shit about that bus. All they are looking at is to ensure those that are sitting in those seats are luxuriously accommodated and in comfort. There you have the four main occupants of the bus. And at the back, on the bumpers, there's an IFP sticker, ACDP sticker, and a Cope sticker, and a few other little stickers. But they have got no fucking role on that bus. They're just sitting there on the bumper. They have no options, nothing, they're along for the ride. And that is South Africa. That bus is now misfiring because it was not serviced. That bus is running out of fuel. Why? Because the EFF has destroyed the fuel stations. So, those are the guys on the bus. And me and you, decent people, is facing an election. We are looking at that bus speeding along. We're in the cuck because we're on top of the bus in the carrier. We've got nothing to protect us. We have no control on where the hell that bus is going. We're on the carrier, we're just hanging on for dear life. That is the problem. And among us, actually not among us, in a trailer behind the bus sits all the non-voters. They're in a fucking precarious position. Because whenever that bus hits a ditch in the road or a bump in the road, that fucking trailer flies all over the place. The trailer suspension is beginning to give in. It has lost a few wheel nuts already. The tow bar, the hitch on the bus, is cracked. But these non-voters, they fucking sitting here in the trailer and all they are doing is screaming. screaming. And you think it affects a fucking bus. Do you think it affects the driver? Nothing. Nobody's even aware of them, but they're there. But we, the guys on the roof, that are worried, because we have voted for some of these bliksums that are inside this bus, fucking it up and taking us to hell. We now have an opportunity to make a change. Where must we vote? And I'm going to stick my neck out today and I'm going to tell you. If you are a decent person and you have got principles and you care for the future of your children, there's two parties that you can consider. Only two. If you are a realistic, practical type of person, you've got to go with OHM. Because they've got practical solutions for a lot of our problems. Yes, they do need some serious constitutional changes and so forth. But give them numbers and they can drive that. And on the other hand, we have hope. #hope for SA. Now, let's be honest and practical and objective. Hope for SA does not suit everybody. But it is a good place for principled people. A good place for people that are Christians. People that care for South Africa. And yes, just as OHM has got a few problems, practical problems, but it's not unsurmountable. The same goes for #hope for South Africa. We look at them, and I looked at a lot of the things that they were standing for, and I looked at the people involved in it. And what I have seen is they are committed to communities, for communities to take care of themselves, for communities to be responsible for their community. Things like that. On the principle, basically loosely, of the canton ideas of Switzerland. And I like that. It's a positive step. It's not, everybody is not happy with that. Some would want more freedom, but okay. What they are proposing and what they are standing for is enough already, because no other party is for it. So, if you care about the future of South Africa and the future of your children, and you want clean, responsible, and accountable officials running the political environment, #hope for SA is a good option. If you vote en masse for them, I am sure that they will listen to their voters, because they have to listen to their voters. Because if they don't listen to their voters and supporters, they will have to give account of that. They are a God-fearing party. I am not a guy that has got a lot of enthusiasm about faith-based political parties, because I've seen them come and go during my lifetime. And everywhere you can see that these political parties that are faith-based, they turn into fanatics at some point. But the people that is involved with Hope for South Africa, Hope for SA, are responsible people, they're qualified people, and they don't walk around Bible punching. They tell you, our principles are faith-based, that they say. And it's Christian faith. You can go and check the Christian religion if you want to know what it means. And one of the big things is, they cannot support liars, thieves, corrupt officials. They cannot. So at least you have the assurance with Hope for SA of skillful, responsible, ethical people in managing positions. That is the two parties that is left for us hanging on for dear life on the carrier on top of that fucking bus that is going to hell. So, you must now vote strategically. If you are a religious person and you want responsible and accountable government, hope for SA. If you are a cool, cold-blooded realist, practical guy, OHM. Those are the only two options for decent people. The only two. There in that trailer that I explained to you, there's now a new crowd in there. Azania. They're in there. They're in there with a mission. They believe that they can overload that trailer to such an extent that the bus can't move anymore. I don't know if that's practically possible, because that bus has got a fucking serious Cummins diesel engine in. They need a bigger trailer if they want to bring that bus to a stop. But that is for you to decide. The fact is, if you want to get into that trailer, you must just understand your options will be limited to screaming and shouting, but you have zero fucking say on where that bus is taking you, because you're on the trailer. And those cretins sitting inside the bus, they must understand, we know all of their tickets has been paid by XXX. All of them. All of them. Their tickets has been paid by XXX. And so you must understand, they are there by the grace of XXX. They cannot bite the hand that bought their ticket. Let these things sink in and think about it. And remember again, the bus. We are on the carrier. We're on the carrier. And it is time that we show the bus controllers, not the drivers, the controllers. It's time for them to get off. We've had it in sitting on top of the carrier. We are coated in dust, covered in insects, all of that. We're cold, it rains on us, the sun baked the shit out of us. We want in that bus now. But they must understand, for every one of us getting into that bus, one of them's got to get out of the fucking bus. That you must not forget. Think about it. And I want to repeat it. For decent people, there's only two options. OHM or #4SA. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your likes. And this morning again, I was faced with the reality of XXX control over our lives. I can't post on Facebook. I haven't done anything there. I just posted my links for the past how many months. I don't participate in any chats or nothing. But just all of a sudden I can't post. The post keeps on failing. But that is their problem, not my problem. You can help share the thing. Thank you.